Well, ladies and gentlemen, Teo here, back with some more Ever17. Kid is in the middle of going through a complete breakdown. Probably getting his memories back. I guess that's probably the most plausible explanation for his little vision trip here. Notably, we are now back in the original room, because there's shelves instead of a bed. And, yeah, that's about where we are. Still a little bit unclear as to whether the sister that showed up in that monologue, or dialogue, whatever, was Coco or Sarah. Obviously, it didn't give any, like, sort of strong indication which one it is, or whether or not they're the same person. But, yeah, that's about where we're at. No! I shouted and grabbed the chair lying on the floor with both hands. I took the chair as if to scare away a ghost and pounded it on the wall. Thud. Wildly, I put all of my limited strength into it, over and over. Thud, thud, thud. The chair bent awkwardly and scraped against the dented wall. Outside the window, the moonlight shined far away. Damn you! I threw the chair and with all my might. I took the chair and with all my strength, threw it at the moon. Crash! The moon scattered like fireworks, shattering to pieces. Wait, what? That's not how the moon's supposed to work. I'll kill you! Saying this, I threw my body into the steel door. Bang, 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 bang. The door wouldn't budge, but I didn't give up. If I had to pulverize my body, I was still going to open that door. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. I hurled myself against the door again and again. The rage I felt made my blood boil and my body shake with fury. Something hot and sticky flowed from near my temple. Every time I crashed into the door, a shock of pain ran through my body. I thought that my shoulder might already be broken. Bang, 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 bang. Dull sound echoed in the darkness endlessly. What are you doing? Suddenly the door opened. White light poured into my eyes. Ah! Tears swelled in my eyes, overflowing. Through my blurred vision, I could make out Sarah. Sarah stood surrounded by the bright light, her hands outstretched to me. Finally, my consciousness was sucked into the light. Powerless, I slumped to the floor, lying there. My body felt heavy like lead and like it would sink into the floor. The next thing I knew, I was on a bed. The ceiling was so white it was slightly blinding. It smelled of disinfectant. Was this the, infirmary? Are you awake now? A shadow passed above me on the bed. It was you. Deja vu. No, this was something that I had actually experienced before. 2 days before, on the first day, when I woke up, you was at my side then. Where's Sarah? Who knows? Probably resting somewhere. I just replaced her a little bit ago. She looked after you the whole time until then. You see. I took both my hands out from under the blanket and stared dreamily at my palms. The countless wrinkles etched there, intertwining, reaching out like the branches of a tree in complicated patterns. The pinkish skin, and buried deeper the slightly blue veins. And 5 fingers. 5 on the left, 5 on the right, and 10 in total. The same as always. Is there some reason there shouldn't be 10? My lost finger still hadn't come back to me yet. Wait, what? What happened to his finger? Was this something that happened in, like, the Vision Quest yesterday? That I'm, like, forgetting about? Because I definitely don't remember anything about a finger getting lost. There was still a deep scar on my left thumb. Like always, I ran my pinky over the scar gently. Like always. I see. Maybe this is a habit of mine. Strangely, that fact had penetrated naturally into my mind. But I wondered when, how, and where I had injured my thumb. Just maybe, the scar held some sort of clue to help me remember my past. As I traced the wound with my pinky, it caused a slight stinging pain that tickled a little bit. I was finally feeling completely calmed down. What happened? You poured me a cup of freshly brewed coffee, handed it to me, and sat down next to my bed. I took the coffee. After a sip, I started to explain. I see. So in that little room and the room you were in before were similar somehow? Probably. Listening to that, it sounds like a sick room or isolation ward somewhere. Sick room? You've probably been hospitalized before somewhere. Maybe you shouldn't say this, but... Kid, maybe you have had the same... maybe you lost your memory or had violent fits repeatedly before. So maybe you were detained in a sick room with a tiny window like that. You touched on the harsh reality of the situation, yet chose her words with care. Of course, it's not for sure or anything, it's just one possibility. You probably had a waking dream, that's a possibility too. I was dreaming. Oh, you were awake though. Finally, you gave me an easy-to-understand explanation about the connectedness of memories and dreams. According to you, dreams and memories are clearly deeply related, but not everything you see in a dream is something experienced in reality. In other words, something had set off my hallucination, but that alone didn't mean that I'd really been held in a sick room. Dreams could often appear as symbols of something else. So what I had seen earlier might have been caused by my repressed memories. In any case, there was no way to be sure of anything, and I still hadn't gotten my memory back. I felt that my experience in the sick room or somewhere was as unreal as a strange small animal that it might appear in a dream. Maybe it was just a dream. At some point I had become sure of it. I felt sure that it was probably just my mind playing a nasty trick on me. You stood from beside the bed. Okay, for now, shall we go check it out one more time? Go check what? That little room, to set the record straight. You held out her hands to me. You might find a clue to help you jog your mind and get your memory back. I thought that was unlikely. I know that it was just my mind playing tricks on me. I was convinced there was no connection between that room and my memory. Even so, I had to agree to go. If you were willing to take me, I couldn't turn her down. I took Yu's hands and got up from the bed. It only made sense, but her hands felt a lot different than Sarah's. The inside of the little room was in shambles. Oh, huh. There's like an electrical panel where the window was. That's interesting. I was amazed that I could have made this much of a mess. That was how miserable it was. I didn't think that even if you compressed all of the world's poltergeists into this itty-bitty space, they could have done much more. All I could do was stand there with my jaw on the floor as you said, "You did this?" She was saying it as if to make sure. And? What was it we were going to... Oh! If I remember correctly, you came into the room and sat on the floor, right? Yeah. Whereabouts? About here, I think. I pointed to the area around Yu's feet. What about the door? The door? I'm asking whether the door was shut or not. I shut it, I think. After the door shut, I wanted to escape and started throwing myself against the door. I closed the door as I answered. Just like before, the room was thrown into darkness. The only source of light was the moonlight pouring through the little window. What moonlight? I can't see anything like this. You grasped around in the dark with her hands. I could see everything perfectly. Where's the light switch? You walked along the wall looking for the switch, sometimes tripping on plastic boxes scattered on the floor. Yu's body gave off a faint light. Every time she took a step, a faint streak-like image followed her. What? It was like the flame of a candle flickering in a thick mist. Light shone down from the ceiling. Jeez, can you believe they're still using electronic fossils like this these days? You muttered this as she stared at the light switch. They should spend money on places like this even if the customers won't see them. Because they cut corners in places like this, they get accidents. But who cares about that? You whipped around. And scouring the room, she said, "By the way, where's the window?" There wasn't a single window in the whole room. Thinking about it, it made sense. Nobody would fork over the cash for a little window with special pressure-resistant glass in a little storage room stuck on the side of a warehouse. I looked around for the moonlight that had been there until a second ago. There was no moon. That's no moon! I wondered if it was because I had shattered it. But that wasn't it. Yeah, you don't... I think if it's, like, actually a moon, your odds of successfully shattering it are pretty low. Like, pretty sure you were just doing the whole Vision Quest thing. What I'd mistaken for a window was just a little square hole. Is this the window? You're saying that you thought this was a window? You followed my eyes and went and stood in front of the square hole. I went over beside her and looked up at the hole. The hole was bordered by a steel frame. It was about the same size as a coin locker. It was about 20 inches on each side. There was a door on the hole. I must have broken it, but the door was bent completely and hung loose at its hinge on the side of the hole. The hole was more than an empty space. A bunch of colored wiring, something like an integrated circuit board, some kind of plug, and something like a small lever were all packed into the hole. What is this? I had no idea what it was. It's probably an inverter unit or something. Inverter unit? To change the AC power that comes from the generator into DC. It's a mechanism for changing the electrical current into one that the tools in this warehouse can use. That means that this device controls those functions. I see. Everything she was saying was like gibberish to me, but I nodded. Or to be more precise, it was anyway. Huh? That was the inverter unit. Looks broken now. I have no idea who broke it, though. You said it straight-faced and without looking at me. I reached out to touch the inverter unit thing. It was a bit warm. Or maybe I had it backwards. Maybe I knew that it was warm before I touched it. So I'd wanted to make sure by touching it. In the end, we didn't really learn anything. No, but it did seem like something was trying to move. At least to me. It felt like someone inside me was tossing and turning in his sleep. I finally gathered again in the conference room. Even though I just embarrassed myself in front of everyone, they all acted as if nothing had happened. We were killing time. We still couldn't think of any way to escape. Still Still, we didn't want to feel like we were completely wasting our time. So we all decided to wander around Limu one more time. Oh, this is old. Don't do this to me! Oh, here you. Of course, it was kind of an indirect thank you for her looking after me twice and worrying about my lost memory. Alright then, shall we get started? You plopped down on the floor with the tools and parts, spreading out the repair manual. Of course, the repairs were Yu's job. I was just there to help. Oh god, this is also old. Damn it, I thought we were finally free! But no, we are trapped once more in this purgatory. So... What sort of additional insight can I glean from the kid's little vision quest? I'm gonna keep calling that because I find it amusing. So the mistaking the electrical panel. Oh, right, that's why this repeated scene is here, because we need to set up the event with the locket to, I don't know, get Sarah's side of the story. It was just like, it's all your fault. You... A hot surge of hate raced through me. Who the hell do you think you are, you good-for-nothing? I screamed and grabbed Tsugumi by the collar. What are you doing? Stop it! You grabbed me from behind and pulled me away from Tsugumi. Let go! Let go! I said let go of me! I continued to struggle violently. I was like a desperate beast, devoid of all reason, with my fangs bared and a thirst for blood. What was left of my mind had ceased to be me. I walked around Limu. After what had happened, I didn't want to be around you or Takeshi, but I was too worked up to just stick around in one place. I felt that I would pick the place they were least likely to come and wander around it. I wondered what that fit of rage had been about. Why had I gotten so mad? Why... Tsugumi had stared coldly down at Sarah, and Sarah had desperately battled to stand her ground. What were the emotions that had welled up within me in that instant? It was like I was on the verge of figuring it out. Like my lost memory had been concealed by a thick fog, but now it was only an inch away, right there, covered by a thin sheet. But no matter how thin it was, I still couldn't remove it. The more I thought about it, the further away into the fog my memory seemed to recede. I wondered what I could have had in my past. I continued to wander Limu without understanding anything. Suddenly, I felt like I heard someone's voice in a room, so I entered it. In the sprawling night sky were a number of orb-shaped planets, and in between the planets, there was a huge, soft-looking whale floating. This was the Cosmic Whale Room. Of course, the whale and the starry sky were all merely theme park attractions. I thought that wide, open space and attraction would help to ease my ragged nerves. Even though it was fake, the expansive space eased my tense mind and nerves, frazzled from being cooped up for so long. But I still had no memory. I realized again just how stressed this situation had made me without my even noticing. For a while, I just relaxed, looking at the scenery. What? Something moved slightly on top of the whale. I squinted, peering at it. Sarah? I glanced quickly at the planet next to the whale and headed for the stairs leading to it. I walked out to the edge of the whale's nose and sat down next to Sarah. Wait, you can stand on the whale? I thought it was just a hologram. Oh no, like the planet next to the whale is... What is this room? It's like the weirdest theme park attraction I've ever seen. And I've been to some weird theme parks. I think once when I was in Japan, I went to like a pineapple-themed theme park. I was like super young, so I don't remember the details, but like it was a theme park about pineapples. Like it couldn't have been that normal, right? Like you have a theme park about pineapples, it's gonna be at least a little weird, and I think this beats it in weirdness. I thought that normally whales and dolphins had their blowholes or nostrils near the middle of their head, so it probably wasn't accurate to say its nose. We looked at the countless stars sparkling overhead. It seemed as if we could reach the stars in the sky. If I stood up, I could probably have actually touched a star. Because it was all a facade of fake stars projected onto the ceiling. Speaking of fake, the whale was too. I would certainly hope so. I didn't know what cutting-edge technology they used, but the skin on the whale felt like it could have been real. Then again, I suppose I didn't suppose I'd ever actually touched a real whale. Maybe it was just working from some image of what I had. From some image I had of what whale skin would feel like. Not having a memory was mysterious in a way. Normal and abnormal, common sense and nonsense were all dictated by memory. For example, if a sea otter suddenly appeared right in front of me, and he said, "I'm your father," then, well, I probably wouldn't believe him. Because in this life I had never met a cross between a sea otter and a person. But with no memory, there was no way for me to know for sure if I'd ever met a sea otter person. Thinking of it that way, it was amazing to me that I could be so logical. I imagined that my memories were stored away in a drawer in my brain somewhere, and I was adding to the drawers even now. Only the number of drawers that I could open was limited. I had no idea where the drawers from before May 1st were packed away. Still, There was someone opening my drawers, and he or she was judging whether what was happening was normal or abnormal, common sense or nonsense. Rather, that entity was telling me I was a safe without a key. The treasure in the safe didn't belong to me. Incidentally, it wasn't just the texture of the whale's skin that had made it seem so lifelike. The whale was alive. What? I'm suddenly deeply, deeply concerned. At least it seemed that way to me. Okay, I'm meaningfully less concerned. A whale swimming in a starry sky. The repetitive wave-like motion of its back as it swam through the sky. His soft mouth opened and closed, and even puffed up from time to time. About every 3 minutes, he blew out a warm breath through his blowhole. The seawater mist of spray would scatter around the area. Sitting at the top of his nose, Sarah and I bobbed up and down, in time with its movements. Still, the whale undulated so slowly that we could let go with our hands and still feel safe. It was like a cradle rocking back and forth. On the back of the whale, we sailed through the cosmos. We were on our way to planet Kwee. Sarah slowly took something out of her pocket and showed it to me. It was an old-style oil lighter. She lit it. The flickering flame made Sarah's face look red. I wondered why she was carrying around a lighter. I couldn't picture her as the type that would smoke. I thought I might ask her, but as I did, Sarah opened her other hand. In it was the pendant from before. A thin chain was wrapped around her index finger. The pendant swayed in her hand. Sarah brought the flame closer to the pendant and stared at it dreamily. Her expression relaxed. It was as if Sarah were mesmerized by something. A mirror was embedded in the pendant. The flame of the lighter reflected brightly in the mirror. I wondered if Sarah might be staring at her reflection and admiring herself. The idea made me laugh without thinking. Huh? Something funny? I mean, you look like you're sitting there grinning at yourself. No, I'm not. I guess you got a bit of a narcissistic side. I said I'm not! With that, Sarah snapped the lighter shut. That moment, I noticed something odd. It had looked like the flame of the lighter in the mirror had split into 2 images. I thought that maybe there was a crack in the mirror. Hey, can I see that pendant for a second? Sure. Don't drop it. The whale's body continued to move up and down. I figured that was what Sarah meant. I won't. Saying that, I took the pendant from Sarah, and then dropped it immediately. I wrapped the chain around my finger and brought it close to my face. As I suspected, the mirror was cracked. It wasn't just broken, a piece of it was missing. I touched the area that was missing. I thought that it had probably broken from the shock of Tsugumi dropping it. The missing fragment might still be lying about in that room. Feeling the sharp contours of where the missing piece belonged made me sad. I took my fingers from the mirror and held my palm out towards Sarah. Without saying anything, Sarah plunked the lighter down in the palm of my hand. It sparked and lit. Oh! I'd spoken without thinking. The flame appeared in the mirror, dimly but in 3 dimensions. This is the hologram pendant? Yes, but... The mirror showed a person. It was basically a headshot. From the shoulders on up, the head and facial expression were extremely clear. I imagined it was made using a hollow machine. Hollow machines were machines that would burn a hologram into pendants or keychains or any other object that a person wanted. On Limu, there were even a number of these machines. I remember that much. It was the same as before. If there was something to trigger my memory, I could recall some things. I thought that if I could remember these kind of things, why not? But I shoved the thought aside and focused again on the image in the pendant. Since it was a hologram, it also had depth. Changing the angle of the mirror changed the angle of his face. It was an image of a man I didn't know. I suspected it was an image that was closed away in one of those inaccessible drawers of my memory. I had no memory of the face. Who is this? Huh? Is your boyfriend? Sarah remained quiet. Her expression was frozen solid. It's your boyfriend, isn't it? I asked her again. There was not even a glimmer of hidden romance on her face. Any girl looking at her boyfriend's picture would probably show a smile. Especially stuck in the middle of the ocean. Hey, he looks pretty cool, I said in a teasing way. Actually, he was so good looking it was enough to make you sick. I thought you might chirp out, "Oh, honey, I hope you're well, I miss you." But there was one thing that bothered me. His image was all one color. There was a kind of retro trend going on, and some people did go for the sepia or monochrome holograms. So it didn't seem that outlandish. So, how long have you been dating? I put out the lighter, set it on the pendant, and held it towards Sarah. She didn't take them. She was still frozen stiff. It looked like she was forgetting to breathe. Hey, Sarah? Sarah? Hello, Sarah? I grasped the pendant that she hadn't taken and shook Sarah's shoulders. Sarah didn't even blink. And then... whoosh, the whale exhaled. Yeah! Sarah leaped up and smashed into me, leveling me with a powerful tackle. Who knows? It might have been that she was so surprised she just wanted something to grab onto. Still, her full weight came barreling into me. Uh-oh. With that, I went down and she crumpled with me. We slid down and off the whale's smooth skin. The stars appeared to gain distance. Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. You don't fall up. That's not how gravity works. Like, if the stars are being projected on the ceiling... Oh, gain distance, I see. Never mind. I don't know how to read. My reading comprehension skills are deeply dubious. Gain distance, so they're falling, yes. Please don't die, children. And this, kids, is why we need safety rails on all of our attractions. Because sometimes dumb children don't use the attractions properly. And the theme park is liable. What they say about space being weightless, well, it seemed to lie. You're not in space. You're in a theme park. Underwater. Before I had time to think about anything else, my body made contact with the hard floor. A fine mist descended down onto my skyward face. Sarah was on top of me, unmoving. I could hear her breathing near my ear. Well, at least she's not dead. Safe landing, huh? Sarah continued talking as she lifted up her face and peered into my face. Welcome to Planet Kwee-Kwee. What? I'm not 100% sure what to make of that. I ended up failing to give the pendant back. You thief, you. I thought I would look for the missing piece of the hologram and had an idea of where it might be. It was the site of Tsugumi and Sarah's fight the day before. The fragment should be around the room somewhere. I wanted to find the piece and put it back in the pendant. I thought that if I could do it, Sarah would jump with joy. As I imagined her happy face, I crawled around on my knees, searching from room corner to corner. That's strange. What's strange? Surprised, I looked up and there was Takeshi. You looking for something? Yeah. Actually, I explained the situation and showed Takeshi the broken pendant. I see, well, you're right about it being broken. Congratulations, Takeshi, you've managed to succinctly summarize our situation in a way that only you could. Bravo, I say. Bravo. Yep. If you don't mind, could you help me look? It sounds like a plan. But can I ask you something first? What? That image of the guy you were talking about, where is it? Where? It's right here. I peered into the mirror. What? He's gone. Takeshi looked at me skeptically. But it was here yesterday, I swear. Huh? I wonder why. It's no big deal. I don't really care what kind of guy Sarah would date anyway. No, I take that back. Might be just a little bit interested. But I suppose it doesn't matter now that the pendant's broke. And since the pendant's something important to Sarah, I'll help you look for the broken piece. Thanks. What a magnanimous, what a wonderful guy Takeshi is. First to find it wins, kid. Huh? Takeshi thumped my back and set about crawling on the floor, searching. And? How much is the reward for this anyway? Reward? How much am I gonna get if I find the piece? What? Are you gonna blackmail Sarah? What are you talking about? You're gonna pay me? You're gonna pay me, not Sarah. Why? Hey, don't play innocent with me, champ. What? You don't think I'd let you take all the credit, do you? Takeshi wriggled toward me like a snake. He stopped in front of me. If I find it, I bet you're planning to say you did. I wouldn't. Oh, my lady. Oh, hi, my lady Sarah. Oh, hi, kid. What is it? This is yours, my lady. Well, if it isn't the pendant I lent you yesterday. Oh, joy, it is fixed. Oh, happy day. Oh, how did I slave, searching the floor far and wide all of yesterday? And was that alone? And was that alone that you searched, brave youth? Do you jest? Of course I went on my quest for the missing piece alone. Oh, wow! Kid, you are amazing! So I know exactly what you're planning. You're full of yourself. Whatever. Anyway, that wasn't a very good impersonation of me or Sarah. Don't be so picky about the details. I'm rooting for you, okay, kid? I told you, it isn't like that. I said it's okay. I like doing this kind of thing. What do you mean by this? I mean, well, you know, being Cupid, a matchmaker. Cupid doesn't ask for money. I suppose that's true. And how about you help me in return later? Help? Seems that the generator needs looking at. No big deal, just some maintenance has got to be done. It's an order from Sora. In that case, I'd do it even if you didn't know me, even if I didn't know you anything. Thanks! In the end, we didn't find the missing piece. Takeshi and I were just standing around, covered in dust. The door opened and Sarah came in. Oh, there you are. I thought I forgot to get the pendant back from you. Or I think I forgot to get the pendant back from you. Oh, yeah. All I could do was hand her back the fractured pendant. Only then, like Sarah was seeing us for the first time, did she notice that we were filthy. What are you guys doing here, anyway? I couldn't think of anything to say. Takeshi and I exchanged glances. Actually, we were looking for the missing piece. Piece? What's that? The piece that broke off the pendant. I thought we'd try to fix it for you. Oh, don't worry about that. Sarah looked kind of embarrassed. What? What had happened? I mean, contextually, I'm assuming that the pendant was, like, broken from the get-go. All of a sudden, Takeshi made it look like it was all his bright idea. I thought he was going to let me take the credit. Besides, I'm pretty sure you're not going to find the piece here. Why not? Because the pendant was cracked from the start. From the start? Yep. I don't know why, but I've had this pendant as long as I can remember. And this piece broke off a long time ago. Oh, well that means we didn't have a chance of finding it. Takeshi's sigh echoed throughout the infirmary. After lunch, Takeshi gave me more information about the generator problem. He said that the part we had repaired before was malfunctioning and the machine wasn't functioning in a stable manner. Takeshi told me when to meet him to fix it. Then he said he had to do something. That he had something to do and took off. I didn't have anything to do until our meeting time, so I walked the corridors alone. Suddenly, I noticed a faint voice. It sounded like a song, but I wondered who it could be. I turned toward the direction of the voice. But there was no one there, and the voice had stopped. But I was sure that the voice had come from around here. I thought that maybe... I peeked into the compression chamber from the shadows and saw Sarah. Sarah was sitting in front of the think window. Think window? Thick window, maybe? In front of the thick window and staring at her pendant. I thought I might call out to her. She seemed to be focusing on something. It looked like she was starting to recite a song. Moon sprite shouldering a longbow. Ever17, the Out of Infinity. Premium edition, not responding. Waiting inside a dream. Is he going to do this after every line? Come on now. Don't be like that. Tonight, a story by moonlight. Oh my god. Stop it. You can't tell. The game is, like, definitely not cooperating. Hoping the wait will be short. It's, like, not letting me click through the lines anyways, so it's probably, like, the way the dialogue is structured here. Sleeping, curled, and snug is, like, different than it is normally. It's, like, advancing automatically, like it was during the Kid's Vision quest, and, the game is having some problems handling that. Sleeping in mother's arms. She finished singing. Oh, thank God. Alright, I'm save now just to be on the safe side, in case the game decides to, explode on me again. Like, during the Vision quest and during the song just now, it, like, did eventually, like, advance through all the text, and, like, didn't crash during it, but can never be too safe. Like, 30 minutes into the video, I would hate to have to, like, skip through 30 minutes of text again. She finished singing. A tear streaked down Sarah's face. It didn't seem like a good time to call out to her, so I went to leave. Then suddenly in front of my eyes, another scene fused together with the one I was witnessing. A girl was sitting on the bed, crying in the same way. She was stifling her sobs to keep others from worrying. But who? Who was this? What could this all mean? What was the matter with me? Who's there? With her voice, the image instantly vanished. Still confused by what I had just seen, I answered. It's me, Sarah. Sorry, I wanted to say something, but it just didn't seem right. Sarah wiped away her tears as if hiding them. What do you mean? She seemed her upbeat self again. I faced her and sat down. That song, you sang it before. In front of the generator room, I think. Hey, your memory is fine. Maybe you lost your memory because you packed your head with so many useless little things like that. Sarah laughed as she said this. Is that song a lullaby or something? Yeah, you never heard it? I shook my head. I didn't recall hearing it before. Really, you don't know it? I pretended to think about it. Even if I did think on it, I didn't imagine I'd remember it. Oh, I see. Sarah said it sadly and glanced down at the pendant hanging from the middle finger of her left hand. There's something I wanted to ask you. Okay, so here it sort of makes sense for if, like, the kid and Sarah, if, like, Sarah is the kid's sister, Sarah is the person from the flashback, especially given, like, whose route we're on, and the reason she hasn't told the kid is because she wants him to, like, get his memories back organically or something? That seems plausible. I told her about how the image of the man in the hologram pendant had disappeared. I was sure the image was there yesterday. Oh, that's because we're indoors. What do you mean? Yesterday when we were looking at it, we were in Limu. No, that's not inside. That's a part of space, right? I don't think it is. I think it's still inside. I'm just kidding. Here's how it works. With that, Sarah took the lighter from her pocket. She put the lighter's flame close to the pendant. Oh. The man in the hologram floated there, the same as the day before. The image wasn't as clear as before. I thought it was probably the bad light. The room with the whale was mostly dark. I figured that's why he wasn't as clear. Do you have to hold the lighter flame next to it to see it? I asked to make sure. Yep. It's gotta be either the lighter or sunlight. Sunlight? Yeah. I don't really know how it works, but you can't see it under fluorescent lights. Weird, huh? That's when I understood why Sarah always carried the lighter. It was to look at the hologram. Sarah put out the flame. Although, that still leaves the question of, like, who's the guy in the hologram. Like, I assumed it was the kid, but presumably the kid would recognize his own face. And lit it and put it out. And lit it and put it out. She stared absently at the image of the man appearing and disappearing. Both of my parents are gone. Sarah said this out of the blue. They died when I was little. My mom and dad weren't around when I was a kid. For a while, I thought it was that way for everybody. Really? I didn't know how to answer. I couldn't think of a decent reply. This pendant is the only keepsake I have. So that man is... Oh, it's the dad. That makes sense. I think it's probably my father. I don't know for sure, but that's what I think. After a long silence, I said, "It's the same for me." I've forgotten everything. So I don't remember anything about my mom or dad. If we bumped into them on the street, I would never know it. Even if I get out of here in one piece, I don't have anywhere to call home. So I'm in the same situation. It's not the same as having it's not the same as not having any parents. Well, I should get going. Gotta go help Takeshi. The generator needs some fixing. I stood up. As I was about to leave, I thought of something. Hey, would you mind lending me that lighter and pendant again? Ouch! Takeshi, that hurts! Wait, why didn't we get an answer? Like, that doesn't seem like there's any, like, good reason to cut to black there. I'm confused. You can take that, you're a man after all. Takeshi grinned sadistically as he patted my right arm, which was supported by a cast. The cast was made of a specially formulated plastic. It was lighter than I had expected and not too cumbersome. Takeshi had put the cast on me with instructions from Sora. Sora said she had something else to do and left the word to Takeshi. Wow, that dive you took was really something else. Pretty impressive stuff. Be quiet, I told you my leg slipped. You're the one that forced the tools on me. Don't try to pin this on me. I never said to bring the tools along. You're the one that jumped off without anything. If we have to make repairs again, then we'll need the tools, so I left them there. Takeshi was making excuses. Okay, fine, say it was all my stupid fault. I looked at the cast wrapped around my right arm. While we were repairing the generator, I'd lost my balance holding the heavy toolbox and fallen off the machine. Well, don't get down about it. Sora said just clean brakes, you'll be back in business in no time. Easy for you to say. Alright, now it's time. Takeshi took a transparent object that could be easily mistaken for a gun at a glance. It was an injection syringe and a cartridge filled with a cocktail of antibiotics, fever medicine, painkillers, and vitamins. Give me your arm. Takeshi put the needle against my left arm. He pushed it in. Alright, that should do it. Thanks, Takeshi. Wait, didn't we establish in Tsukumi's route, in Sora's route, that Takeshi has, like, no idea how to handle a syringe? Like, he just jams it in their arm randomly? I'm suddenly deeply concerned for the kid's well-being. The rig might cause a fever. At least you got some medicine in you. Either way, the medicine ought to make you drowsy, so take it easy. Alright. Well, I best be going. Hold on a sec. Huh? What is it? There's something I want you to see. What? This. I held Sarah's pendant out to Takeshi. Not that again. Yeah, I want you to take a look at it again. It can be a pain, you know. Even so, Takeshi took the pendant as he said this. This time I thought I'd be able to see it as well. I was going to tell him that it was a picture of Sarah's boyfriend. Takeshi scrutinized the pendant. He turned it over, then sideways. And then... There's nothing here to see. Oh, there has to be... Oh, I forgot. I took the lighter out, lit it, and held it up against the pendant. I showed the light on the pendant. How's that? Are you screwing with me? Huh? What are you using a lighter to look at it for? Because that's how you see it. Huh? Look hard. There should be a man's face there. Ah, you're right, there is. Not a bad-looking guy. See, that's Sarah's boyfriend. Oh, alright. I wonder when I started going out with Sarah. That or just some miracle mirror that shows the future. Huh? What are you talking about? The only face showing in this mirror is mine. That means I must be Sarah's guy. Idiot, there's no way you and Sarah would get together. You said it, not me. So the guy in here was Sarah's boyfriend, right? I'm not talking about your ugly reflection, I'm talking about the holographic image. And I'm saying there isn't a hologram in here, stupid. Look again! I am looking! I'm staring! Look at my eyes! They're wide open! I looked over Takeshi's shoulder and peered into the pendant. Look, it's right there! I pointed at the hologram of the man. That's me, right? You're behind it! The guy inside the mirror is you! Guy floating in the front is who I mean. There's no floating guy anywhere. Wait, what? Okay, now I'm super confused. What's going on? Like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm, like, trying to think of a way that this makes sense. And I'm, struggling. Like, I feel like I either don't know enough about the mechanics of the mirror to come up with a good explanation here, or, like, I'm a dumbass. And either one is, like, a perfectly reasonable explanation. There's no floating guy anywhere. How many times are you gonna make me say it? There's nothing there. You came as we were repeating the sad exchange. What are you all worked up for? You two finished fixing the generator? You, come talk some sense into this idiot for me. That's my line! What happened? I showed you the hologram pendant. And I used the lighter. Says the face inside there is Sarah's future man. I didn't say that, you're twisting my words. Whoa, is that so? See, that girl is gonna need a sex change operation. Or I will. Yeah, not for me. Huh? I mean, this is just an ordinary mirror. I don't think there's a hologram or anything in there. It's a hologram! There's a guy's face in there! I wondered how many times I would have to shout out the same line. Look, he's right here! Right here! Now, I looked over Yu's shoulder and pointed to the pendant. Hey, kid, are you alright? Are you having another fit? You really, truly can't see it? Really? That's right. Can't see the man's face? Yu and Takeshi looked at each other. They couldn't see it. Neither Yu nor Takeshi could. I wondered why in the world not. Moonlight shone into the sick room. I heard a voice crying somewhere. The muffled voice kept sniveling and sobbing again and again. Who was it? Who are you? I didn't know what I was escaping from. Hello? Waiting for what? Was I waiting for me? Where in the world was that? This was... Just then the scene dissolved away. You ran away. You left that kid and ran away alone. The voice kept repeating itself in my head. Wait, tell me! I didn't know what I had run from or to where. What was I... Gradually, the scenery around me began to change into eerie colors. I woke up and almost leaped out of the bed. I was in the infirmary. My body was drenched in sweat. Ouch! A sharp pain shot through my right arm. I looked at my right arm and stared confused at the cast on my arm. I didn't know why. And then I remembered. I had broken my arm and was resting. I was still foggy from the drugs. A string of hazy memories came back to me. I remembered the scary dream I had. I thought it was from the fever and the medicine. I was sure of it. That's why I had such bizarre dreams. I shook my head and tried to get a better grip on my consciousness. I looked at the clock on the wall. It was a bit past 2 in the morning. Normally it would be the middle of the night, but somehow it didn't feel like that at all. I tried to remember how long we'd been trapped there. An extended amount of time in here, where the cycles of day and night were meaningless, really played with one's sense of time. I sat up, taking care to watch out for my broken arm. Clank. Sarah's pendant was by my left hand. It looked like I had fallen asleep with it clasped in my hand. I gotta return this. I slipped out of the bed. My right arm was still feverish. My right arm felt slightly feverish, but because the medicine Takeshi had injected was probably working, it didn't hurt much. But I was still unable to move it normally. Next to the pillow was a sling for me to hang my arm. I wonder if Takeshi had left it, or maybe you. Either way, I couldn't just let my hurt arm swing back and forth as I walked. I put it on. I thought about where Sarah might be. I figured she might be asleep. I wonder where she always slept. An image of Sarah atop the whale floated into my mind. I decided to try there first. If she weren't there, then I'd try somewhere else. Still a bit groggy, I left the infirmary. I went down in the elevator and headed for the cosmic whale. I heard the sound of splashing. It wasn't from the generator room. It sounded like it came from the pipe room. Wonder what that is. When I entered the room... Sarah! The moment I saw what was happening, I jumped into the water. When I jumped in, I remembered that my arm was broken, but it was too late. I swam toward Sarah, doing the best I could with my arm. Sarah, grab hold! Huh? Kid, what are you doing? Just grab hold of me! I tried to grab Sarah, but she swam away from me. Just leave me alone! Wait, Sarah? I said stay away from me! Pervert? Pervert? What? Then I noticed something a bit strange. If I stretched my legs, I could just touch the floor. Sarah? What? What are you doing? Just what it looks like? I don't know what it looks like. That's why I asked. I'm practicing swimming. Practicing swimming? Yeah, just what it looks like. As if I would know. Flailing around like that. Anyone would think you were drowning. No, kid, you might just be dumb. There is a distinct possibility. That was the comeback I launched in my mind, but what came out of my mouth was, "Oh, I see." Jeez. Only that stupid line. Well, since you've seen me, I'll tell you, I guess. I actually don't know how to swim. As she said this, Sarah continued flapping around madly in the water as if she were sinking. I thought we have all this time, and I found a swimsuit in the changing room. Distracted, I hadn't noticed. When she told me I did for the first time, Sarah was decked out like a Limu employee in a one-piece swimsuit. I wonder why I hadn't noticed. I blushed with embarrassment. But still, watching Sarah's movements, it would have been more of a stretch to imagine her swimming than drowning. Besides, the medicine was still affecting me. Excuses, excuses. I was making up all kinds of excuses. But Sarah didn't notice my confusion and kept at it. So I thought I would try to get in a little swim practice. I mean, the water here isn't all that cold. Now that she mentioned it, I realized that the water was warmer than in the corridors. Imagine the heat from the pipes had warmed it. So I was practicing swimming all alone. I thought you were a ninja. Ninjas can... Well, swimming is the only skill I'm not good at. I see. Just between you and me, unfortunately, my swimming was so bad that I wasn't promoted to a master. Is that right? What? Kid, you take everything so seriously. Ninja! Oh, so that was a joke. Sure was. Me, a ninja? But... it's true that I can't swim. And being in this situation and not being able to swim makes me nervous. I think I'm probably the only one here who can't swim. You can swim, right, kid? I hadn't thought about it, but I thought I'd been swimming all right a minute ago. That meant that I could swim. Yeah, I can swim. That's perfect. Will you teach me? Wait, how is this choice not relevant? This feels like a relevant choice. I'm gonna save anyway. You can't stop me. Look at all this power I have. I can, like, push buttons, and I don't need anyone's permission. I suppose. Huh? Well, I'm already soaked to the bone. I might as well teach you a little. You mean it? Alright. Wow, you're being surprisingly nice, aren't you? No, I'm not. Oh, I know what it is. What? It's because I look so good in this swimsuit. Better keep your hands off. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, see, I can tell I'm right because you're getting all worked up. Fine, I won't teach you anything then. Oh no, wait, please! I won't tease you anymore. Promise? Yeah, I promise. I said I promise, I swear to God, to Buddha, and anyone else who'll listen. Well, alright. Really? You know I love you, right? Anyway, I should be going. Oh, I'm kidding, come back here. Sarah flapped her arms about, making even more spray. Oh, alright, I'll teach you, okay? Yeah! I was hoping you would say that. I said stop that. Sarah, you gotta relax more. Be more natural-like. Sarah! I had to strain my voice to be heard over Sarah's splashing. I'd gotten out of the water. With my right arm in a sling, there were only so many ways to teach swimming. I was just watching what she was doing and hollering out advice. But no matter what I said, she still looked clumsy. If you keep that up, you'll never learn to swim. Well, what am I supposed to do? Doing my best to do just like you said. I see. You can't swim if you're so tense. You need to be smoother. Like this? Splash, splish, splash, splish. She only whirled the water into a bigger froth with more spray. Whoa, Sarah, slow down! I shouted instructions as I avoided the spray showering down around me. Are you doing that on purpose? Why would I? What do you expect me to do? You gotta move more slowly, gentle-like. How am I supposed to know what you mean by gentle? What else can I do? You're no good at teaching. That ticked me off. Oh, I know. What? Sarah, you don't need to learn to swim, do you? Of course I do. Really? What do you mean? Listen, Sarah. If you really want to learn to swim, then you have to listen to what I say. Oh. Can't listen to what I say? Then I'll be going. Oh. Do you want me to teach you to swim? Yes. So is there anything you want to say to me? Sarah glared at me menacingly. If not, then I pretended I was about to leave. I'm sorry. What, did you say something? I said I'm sorry. Now, just teach me without being mean. Witty, please. Don't talk like a baby. A little bit is fine, no? Besides, I think I look pretty good in a swimsuit. You should be happy just to be around me. Not even a little. Shut down. Truthfully, though, Sarah was something in a swimsuit. I couldn't tell her that. I didn't want her to get big-headed. Now, why should I be happy about seeing you in a swimsuit? Oh, you're such a jerk. Sarah started kicking and showering me with water. Whoa, stop that right now! Can you tell the truth? You like me in a swimsuit, right? Why would I, you in a swimsuit? I was blushing, completely giving away my feelings. Oh, look, you're getting red. See, you do like seeing me. You're not listening to me. You're a guy. What's that supposed to mean? Well, any healthy guy in his right mind would like to be with a beautiful girl in a bathing suit. It's not like that. You're saying that even though you want to sneak a better look. I said I don't. Had enough. I'm leaving. I was embarrassed because she'd seen right through me. I really meant to leave the room. Hey! I heard Sarah scream behind me. Sarah? I hurriedly looked behind me. Sarah? Sarah? What's the matter? I wondered if her leg had cramped. I sprinted to the water's edge, and then... Splash! Water suddenly sprayed in my eyes, blinding me. The next thing I knew, I had slipped and was spinning in the air. Splash! The following instant, I was in the water. You have been successfully trolled, kid. I'm a little bit disappointed, honestly. I expected better of you. Ah! It all happened so quickly that I swallowed a ton of water, and some went up my nose. My nose stung. I desperately fought to get to the surface. Sarah! What is it? Sarah, pretending that nothing had happened, had resumed her swim practice. Sarah, you're mean! I approached Sarah. What? Falling for everything so easily. Sarah! It would seem you're still wet behind the ears, kid. Seeing Sarah laughing with such enthusiasm, I realized that getting any angrier was pointless. Actually, for some reason, I had started to laugh. Sarah and I laughed for a while. Anyway, once my fit of laughter was done, I got out of the water. Kid, Sarah called out to me shyly. So, should we start? Yeah. Okay, wise teacher, please fill me with swimming knowledge. You know I'm pretty strict. You think you can handle it? Yes, sir. Okay, then let's get started. Okay. Listen, I think with you, Sarah, your body gets tight because you think you can't swim. You have to relax more. But, I'm trying to do just the way you say. Yeah, but you're so stiff, like a scarecrow, or you're made of wood or something. You need to let your legs flow freely, like a fish, maybe. A fish. Alright then, I'm a fish now. Okay, Sarah, you need to get pumped. I just can't picture what you mean. Well, if you can't imagine a fish, then how about a dolphin or a whale? Anyway, you have to be relaxed and move freely. No, you're still too stiff. Relax more. Just let your feet go. Somehow, teaching her to swim had become fun. It was fun to see Sarah, who was always in control of things, in the opposite position. Sarah! I waited for Sarah to emerge from the changing room. I played with her pendant. Looking at it without a flame or the lighter, it was just a mirror. I ran my finger around the edge of the pendant. I thought about what Sarah had said in the compression chamber. Both my parents are gone. Sarah had looked so sad as she said it. Sorry I took so long. What's wrong? Why the glum face? Oh, it's nothing. But I brought this. Oh, you brought it for me. Sorry I had to stick around teaching me until the end. You're the one that made me stay. I mumbled this. Huh? What'd you say? Oh, nothing. Well, anyway, thanks a lot. And thanks for hanging out until the end. What? I was taken aback. I was waiting for some witty comeback. But Sarah was sincerely saying thanks. Wow, you're being surprisingly nice to me. Well, yeah, I'm really grateful. Because I finally learned to swim by myself. Only a little bit, but it was fun, and I was happy you were so serious about it. Sarah got a little bit embarrassed. Somehow, watching Sarah struggle with something when she was used to always having her way, well, kind of fun. I taught her how to swim correctly, but I did have an urge to be a bit of a bully about it. Still, I never thought that she would come out and say thank you. I really mean it. Thanks, kid. Yeah, but don't let it go to your head, because you can't really call what you were doing swimming. I was embarrassed, and reflexively went into mean mode. I know. If we have another chance, I hope you'll teach me again. Sure? Next time, I'll really learn to swim. Yeah, you just need a little more practice. Teach me again, ninja! Sure. Somehow, I'm tired out. As she spoke, Sarah took the pendant and put it on. Then she took it in her hand and stared at it. I'll bet if my brother was around, it would be kinda like this. Sarah mumbled it, sounding lonely. But your brother's right here! Your brother? Yeah, I had an older brother. He was fun, strong, and I adored him. But when we were little, we got separated. Oh, okay, so Sarah's not being, like, reticent about the fact that the kid is her brother. She just, like, doesn't know, like, connected 2 and 2 or what have you. Which is entirely reasonable. Like, the only reason I can so, like, strongly assert that the two of them are siblings are because, like, I have both information from other timelines that they don't have, and also, like, unlike them, I know that they're in a fictional story, and then, like, the narrative will follow certain conventions, which is obviously not information that they have access to. I see. But he promised me. Promised you? Yeah, he promised. He promised that he would come to get me no matter what. Is that right? Yep. So, I'm waiting for him. Waiting for him to come save me. Always. Sarah's words brought back a vision I had seen. Yeah, I promise. To wait like a good girl until you come for me. I'll wait like a good girl. I'll wait forever. I desperately tried to shake off the vision. And on that note, I am shutting down for the day. Catch y'all tomorrow. Have a lovely evening, or, you know, morning, or whatever time it is where you are. And yeah, later. Peace.